has to be in a high temperature of a 250 Fahrenheit. You see my turkey fryer. It is my turkey fryer, and I have my propane tank here. I'm sitting next to it. Well, I'm used to it. So, and this is dangerous, though. This is dangerous. You can blow yourself out with this. This is not a game. So I'm using a propane tank to boil this flask. See, the flask is right there in the water. I'm gonna boil it to separate it and melt the wax in it. So as you can see, that water is boiling. So basically that wax is already melted. So I'm using a special glove that I got in a hardware store to resist really high temperature. So I can actually put my hands into this boiling water and I don't actually have a problems, and it's not hot at all. I can manage this easily. As you can see here, I'm opening it. I'm opening this flask. Here it is. You see that tooth is still there, the wax is already melted, and then I have a soap, you know, so the soap, I will wash it, you know, I put a soap in it to kind of remove the remaining wax. Normally, don't worry about if the tooth comes out, just pull it out of there and put it on a side. Don't lose it, because then you'll be in a big problem if you lose that tooth. If you lose that tooth, you might have to find the same size of tooth and then put it in. So I'm washing it with soap. I'm gonna put it back on the hot water. Normally you need really clean water, maybe different pot with the clean water in order to kind of do the cleaning part of it, but I'm just not gonna go to this. So I basically put it back on the boiling water to take the remaining soap off of it. So from that, I will just kind of take it out one by one, and it be ready to go. If you can see, you know, it's really clean. Remember, I'm using a special glove. I can put this glove into a boiling water and I'm not gonna have a problem. So that's the type of glove we use in a professional laboratory. So as you can see, I already have this clean up. Now we're gonna go to next step. So the next step is I'm using a tinfoil substitute. Is the separator material. It's the separator material to be able to separate the acrylic from the stone. So I'm using a brush to do this. So as you can see, I have this shot glass here. My model is still really hot. It's better to use a brush to be able to apply the separator. Don't be afraid to use it. You need the separator everywhere, because that will make your life most easier. Your parcel will come cleaner if you put a separator on it. So the separator is good to separate the acrylic from the stone without no problem. So if you don't put a separator in your stone, your acrylic, it will stick to it, and you're gonna have a lot of cleaning to do, and that's not really cool. You will be working for hours in order to take all this stone from the acrylic and have a really nice product. So in many cases, you might need to apply it twice, but this type of a separator you only need once. and it's really thin. It will not create any type of space in your partial. So this is the way to apply. So remember the tooth fell out. I will find that tooth and put it back on. So I got the tooth and I just gotta put it back where it belongs, right there. So the tooth is placed back where it belongs, and is almost, I'm just gonna wait for my model to cool and it be ready to apply now the acrylic to it after it's cold. So here is my acrylic. So my acrylic measurement is, I have a 30 grams and 10 milliliters of liquid. It's 10 over here. So what I do with the liquid is I put it into a, I got this on Walmart, glass container, because if you use a plastic, the acrylic gonna stick to it. And I will put my, always put the monomer first and then the polymer, and then you mix it together. See how nice and this acrylic look, really nice. So what I will do is I just gonna close it and then wait until that setting time it starts. So right now it's in a stage where I cannot use right now. I will wait until it gets to a doughy stage. So this is the part of the acrylic. This is the acrylic that I'm using right here. Put it into this flask. As you know, has that doughy consistency on it. And then all you can do is you need a separating sheet, which is one of these papers. I'm holding the camera with one hand, and then you're just gonna cover this up and put it. Here is my press. This is really a professional press. There is so many online, but they kind of a clone. Just kind of a twist and twist and twist and twist and twist until it's really tight. But then I'm gonna have to shut off the camera and really tie it up. Basically this is almost ready to go. I'm going to just close it. That's about it. I'm gonna press it the last time here in the press. I'm gonna press it right here. I'm holding. So this is my press. It only have a one unit to have, but you need to press it, keep it tight with a second flask. You can just put it in there by itself. So I just gonna get the key and tighten this up. So that's it. I already tied them up, and sorry that I can't have the entire video because I'm holding the camera with one hand and doing the other one. So this is the key that goes in this flask right there. So I just gonna have my glove and put it back in the water for 1.5 hours. As you can see, not many steps, and I had a difficulty to keep the phone in my hand when I'm doing what I has to do. So we will continue with the finishing part of this video. These dentures, this partial actually, and it will be a part 4 video. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification if the first time you're hitting into this channel. So I'm still boiling this denture. Is gonna go for an hour and a half. This is pretty much the boiling temperature that you need to boil your denture, your partial, or whatever you're doing with the acrylic. Heat cure. This is the heat cure part of it. It has to be in a high temperature of a 250 degree Fahrenheit. Hello, it's me again. I'm creating the part 3 of this partials sequence. I'm gonna show you exactly how to do the part 3. Right now, I am here in my garage boiling the flask. So again, if it's the first time you logging into this channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification. Subscribe so that way you can be notified every time I load a new video. So I gotta show you my setups. This is pretty much the boiling temperature that you need to boil your denture, your partial, or whatever you're doing with the acrylic. Heat cure. This is the heat cure part of it. It has to be in a high temperature of a 250 degree Fahrenheit.